For those of us who are asking how much is the money point interest rate, how much do I need to pay if I collect loan from money point? So far so good. Money point interest rate is one of the cheapest and the least rate I've ever seen when it comes to lending companies interest rate. So whenever you are taking a loan from any lending company, usually their interest rate is high. So unlike money point interest rate. Now, but first thing you want to know is to understand that our interest rate is just 0.18% on daily basis. On daily basis, right? Why, if you are trying to compute for weekly, is going to be 1.26%. 1.26%. Now, how do we come about this 1.26%? If we have 0.18% and in a week we have 7 days, then you want to multiply the 0.18% by 7, which will now give us the total interest rate for the week as 1.26%. Now let's look at a very practical example or illustration so we can see if you take a loan from us, this is how much you are expected to pay back within the tenure. Okay, let's say if you are to pay back this loan on weekly basis for a tenure of 6 months, it means in a month, we have 4 weeks in a month. 4 weeks in a month, right? 4 weeks in a month. Now, 4 weeks times 4 times 6, that will now give us 24 weeks, right? It means for a duration of 6 months, you are expected to pay back this loan, any amount that is given to you, for 24 weeks. If we want to do the practical example of how much you can pay, assuming you are giving a loan of 1 million naira, assuming you are giving loan of a million naira for 6 months. For 6 months, right? And we already know that the daily interest rate is what? 0.18%. So, we're going to look at how much this person is going to be paying back. Now, first of all, you want to see the total amount is 1 million naira. Divide by the number of weeks, right? Divide by a number of weeks. Now let's press our calculator. If we press our calculator, 1 million divided by 24, we are going to have 41,000 We are going to have 41,666.66, right? Now, let's say approximately 41,666.67, right? This is what you will be paying back on weekly basis from the initial capital. Now, for you to know the total of what you are expected to pay back, the total what you are expected to pay back on weekly basis, I want to use a tabular format to do this calculation, right? I want to use a tabular format to do this calculation. Now, let's say loan amount is ₦1,000,000. Number of weeks, loan amount, weekly payment, weekly amount, right? Weekly interest, and total weekly repayment. Total weekly repayment. Okay, now we have this table. Right. All right, let's quickly continue. So like I said, if assuming you take a loan of ₦1,000,000, and this loan you are expected to pay back in 6 months, which will give us 24 weeks in the 6 months. Now, the weekly amount that you are expected to be paying back, the first week you are going to pay back. Open your calculator now. The first week you are going to pay back this amount. Now, if the amount is ₦1,000,000, it means the first week you are going to pay ₦1,000,000 divided by 24 weeks. It means the first week you pay 41,666.666%. Let's say approximately 67. Right? The first week, this is what you pay. Now, we said the weekly repayment is 1.26%. Right? If the weekly repayment is 1.26%, so how much in total will you pay as an interest for the first week? Right? For the first week you pay, you are going to, let's do the computation. 1,000,000 times 1.26 over 100%. It simply means For the first week, you are going to pay back 12,600 as the interest, right? Now, the total repayment for the first week is going to be 12,000 plus is 41,000, which is the loan amount for the first week. Will now give us 54,000 266.67, right? So for the first week, this is what you are going to pay back. Now for the second week, this is where the difference comes in, right? Now remember, our loan is on reducing balancing method. You pay back on reducing balancing method, right? The amount you pay back for the first week will not be included on the second week. Now, 1 million minus 4166.67%. That means you are going to, what you are going to calculate your interest for the second week is 33.33, right? This is what they are going to do the calculation based on it the second week. This remains the same. This remains the same, right? Now 4166.67, we have this times our interest rate. Remember, 1.26 divided by 100%. It means the second week we are going to pay back interest of 12,074.99, right? Now 12,000 plus this plus the capital, which is 41,66.67, right? Now what you are going to pay back for the second week is this 67. For the third week, if this is the capital for the second week and you have paid back this for the second week, now you are going to, for the third week, this is what you are going to pay. This is what you are going to pay. That means 958,333 naira 33 kobo. Now minus 41,666.67, right? It means for the third week you have this 66.6, right? 66.6. Okay, now it means you will now multiply by our interest rate, which is 1.26 divided by 100. We are going to pay this back as an interest for the for the third week. Now, which is 41,666 plus this interest rate will give us this amount, 53,216. Now, we now go to fourth week. If we have paid this for the third week, this is not going to be included in the fourth week. Now, we have this 66.6 minus 41.66. We are going to have 87,499.99. Right? This is the same thing. Now, this times our interest rate of 1.26%, 1.26 divided by 100. We are going to pay this for the fourth week. Right? Now, this plus 41,666, and this we are going to 52,691.67. Now, we now go to fifth week. 874,99.99 minus 4166.67. We are going to have this 833,333,32. Right? Now, remember, we still have 41,000 here times our interest rate of 1.26%. Then we are going to pay back 10,499%. Right? Now, we are going to have the total payment for the week will be 41,600, and the total payment, will be 52,166.67. Right? Now, for the sixth week, we are going to go and do the same thing. 0.32 minus this 41,666 means we are going to have 791.66.65. Right? This is the same. Now, times 791,066.65 minus 41,666. The 791,666.65 times our interest rate of 1.26. divide by 100. Now we are going to pay 9,974 9,974. Right? Now, plus the 41,000 to have the total payment for the week, we are going to add 41,066.67 to give us the total payment for the week. Right? Now, 7th week, we are going to follow the same process to get the weekly payment. This minus 41,666.7. We are going to have 749,999.98. Right? We have this 9 times our interest rate over this. We are going to have 9,449.99. Right? Now, this plus 41,066.67 are going to pay back this amount for the 7th week. For the 7th week. For the 7th week. The 8th week, we're going to do the same thing. 749 749.98 minus 41,066.67. Right? We have 08 333331. Right? 708 3331 times 1.26%. That will give us 8,924. Right? 8,924. Okay? Then this plus 41,066.67, that will give us the total repayment for the week as 50,591. Right? For the 9th week, we are going to pay back 708.5533 minus 41,066. We reach this value 666 naira 64 kobo. Now minus this times our interest rate still apply, divide by 100%. We'll have this for the 9th week On the ninth week, we have this, right? And this plus 41,666 and 7, we are going to have 50,066 naira 67. Okay, 67. Now the 10th week, you are going to have 666,000 666 naira 64 kobo minus 41,666 and 67. We are going to reach or arrive 624,099,9997. We'll have the total here. The same times the interest rate of this, which is the interest rate is 1.26%. We'll have 7 is 0.99, right? 41,000 0.67 will now give us the total repayment for the week as this. Okay, now the 11th week, we are going to have 624,999 and 97 minus 41,666.67. We are going to reach this. Okay, now this is still the same amount multiplied by our interest rate of 1.26%. That will give us 733.49 right? So the total repayment for the week will now be plus 41,66.67. Now have 49,016 naira 67. Okay, now the 12th week, we are going to have this 583,333 and 3 minus 41,000. So that this, or have this 41 541 666.63. Okay, we do this. Now when we do apply our 1.26%, we are going to have this 6,824.99 plus 41,000 to have the total weekly repayment. We have this. This plus this will now give us the total repayment for the week as this. Okay? Now, for the 13th week, so let's wipe out what you have. There's no more space for down there. Let's wipe out what you have here. Let's wipe out what we have. Sorry. So let's wipe out. Okay. Now, for the 13th week, we're going to have is 13 week. Alright. For the 13th week, we're going to have first 12th week, we have 541, 6666, 63, and then we have the interest as 6824.99. So 4166.67 plus the interest of 6824.99, that gives us 48 for 91.67. Now, for the 13th week, we are going to have this 541, 66, and 63 minus 41,066.67. We are going for the 13th week, we are going to have this 541,666 minus 41,000. That will give us 499.96. 99.96. Right? This remains the same amount times our weekly interest rate, which is 1.26. So this applies to our 1.626% weekly interest rate, and we have 6,299.99. Right? Now, this plus this plus 41,666.7 will give us the total for the week. Total for the week as 966.67 approximately. Right? Now, for the 14th week, we're going to have 499.96 minus 41. This will have 458. 333.29, sorry. This same apply times our weekly interest rate. We'll have 5,774.99, right? Now 5,000 plus 41,66. We are going to have total repayment for the week as this. 15 week. We'll do the same for 58. 29 minus 41,666.67 will now give us 416,666.62. This same apply times our interest rate for the week. We'll have 5,249.99, right? This plus this to have the total weekly repayment 41,666.67. We'll have 46,916.67. Okay, now do the same for week 16. We're going to have 416,666.62 minus 41,666. We are going to have 374. 999.95. Like this. This multiplied by 1.26 divided by, we will now have 424.99. Okay, this now plus this will give us 4166.67 to give us this total amount for the week. 67, right? Now, with 17 goes like this: 374, 999.95 minus 41,666. When this, we'll have 333.28, right? Now, times 1.26%. We'll have 4,199.99, right? This plus this plus 41,666.7. We'll have this 45,866.67 presently, right? With 18, we're going to get this 3.28 minus 41,000.67. We're going to have 291,666.61. Okay, now this remains times our weekly interest rate divided by this. We have 3,674.99. This plus 41,066.67 will now give us 45,341,067. Now with 19 will give us this 291,666.61 minus 41,666.67. We are going to have 249,000.9994. This apply. now times our weekly interest rate is 3,149 and 99. That's 3,149. Plus this, we have 66 and 67. We have total weekly repayments of 44,816.67. Okay, the week 20, we are going to do the same. 249,999.94. So on week 20, we are going to, on week 20, we are going to do the same thing. 249,999 minus 41,666. On this, we are going to add this. We apply this with our interest rate 1.26%. This will give us 2,624. 624.99. Now this plus 41,066.67 give us 44,291.67. 21, with 21, we are going to do the same. 208, 33.67 minus 41,66.67, that will give us 166 and 666.60. This apply. Times our interest rate of 1.26% will give us 2,000 and this plus this, we are going to get 43,766.67. Okay, right? We are going to go for the 22nd, 3rd, and 4th. 22nd, 4th, and 22nd, so we're going to do for 22nd week. We're going to do for the 22nd week. Now this applied with our interest rate. You're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, I want to inquire something.
Okay, go ahead.
Concerning the POS machine, you could give.
That is what we do.
Okay, so what are the requirements?
What do you want to use in PS for?
For this,
Now, let's quickly go for the 22nd week and see how much you can pay. 22nd week. Now, 21st week we have this 166,666.60 minus the weekly payment of 41,666,67 kobo. We will now arrive at this for the 22nd week. Now, if we apply our 1.26% interest rate, we are going to have this 1,500 and 74.99, right? This plus 41,666 and 67 will give us 43,000 to 41,067. Okay, now third week we will have this 124,099.93 minus 41,000. This we have 83,3333. Now multiply by our interest rate 126%. 1,000 this plus this plus 41,000. This is will now give us 42,716. Okay, so 42,716. Then we have this. For the 24th week, we are going to have this 83,300 for this minus 26 minus this. We are going to have 41 minus this. We are going to have 41,66. 4166.67. 4166. When we minus this, we are going to have this 4166.59. Okay. Now times this. Okay, multiply by our interest rate of 1.26%. We are going to pay the last interest rate as 524.99. Now this plus 41,000 and this, we're going to have 42,191.67. Okay, and this is how the interest rate of our working capital loan is being calculated or computed. So if you have added all these interest rates, at the end of the 24 weeks, then you are going to arrive at 157,500. So do your best. So this is how our interest rate is being calculated or computed. If you add all these interest rates on the week, this interest amount on the weekly basis together, you arrive at 157,500. So this is how we calculate the interest rates on balancing reducing method. Okay, so thank you for watching. Until next time.